This is Inspirational Women, a weekly series shining the spotlight on female trailblazers making a true difference in our community. Once again, here is Kate Daniels.
Rachel Linden, she's a Northwest author with now 8 books to her credit. I've loved this new book and can't believe I've not met up with any of the previous ones. Thus, I'm so excited to have Rachel visit with us this morning to bring some insights into this delightful new book, The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake. Rachel Linden, good morning. It's so wonderful to have you join us today.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to be with you.
And what a wonderful pleasure it's been to get to know you through your newest book, The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake. Boy, was this a fun adventure, a fun read. So first of all, thank you for bringing us this wonderful book.
Oh, thank you for reading it. I appreciate it. I'm excited. It's out in the world in just a few days, and I'm excited for people to get to experience it.
Well, that I highly recommend. You know, I was thinking about how we take seasons and say, oh, this is a great beach read. Oh, this is a time to cuddle up at the fireplace and read. But really, any time is a great read. And of course, now in the fall, here we are with the season where many of us like to just kind of hunker in and have a warm place to kind of just spend quiet time. This book is a great time, a great read to have that kind of time. So I think, therefore, it's perfect timing.
Thank you. I think any time is a perfect time to take a magical trip to Italy. But I think this one is especially fun because the book just feels to me like a warm hug from your favorite Italian grandma combined with a magical vacation on an Italian olive farm. And I feel like you're right. There's no time in the year where that feels like a bad idea. But fall, when you can curl up with a blanket and a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and have a good read, it's a great time to go to Italy in your mind.
That's right, in your mind. But I think in reading the book, there is that big invite, the invitation to travel, to get to Italy. I mean, there's always kind of this romantic notion of Italy, I think. But this book really kind of makes it tangible, gives us the real feeling, the olive groves, you know, the sense of this SCENTS of the area. It's just so wonderful, and you have such a skill in bringing it really to life and sharing that experience.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. This one is very near and dear to my heart because my dad's family is from this northern, kind of near the lake region of Italy. And so when I was deciding to write a book on Italy, there's so many wonderful places you could set it, and you can do the Amalfi Coast or you can do Tuscany. And I thought, no, what if I set it near where my dad's family is from? And I've been there. I got to go again for research for this book. So it was absolutely wonderful and really had an extra layer of special meaning to be able to go to a place where my ancestors are from and research this book. And of course, the research is also delicious because I'm writing magical realism with food. So there's lots of yummy Italian food in this book. And I got to do the research by just wandering around and eating a lot of delicious things, eating a lot of gelato, wandering in these wonderful, charming little towns around Lake Garda, which is Italy's largest lake. So it was delightful from start to finish.
And I think that really then translates into the book. There's that real feeling of just being right there in that place of, doing things in the moment, really savoring the food as you savor the area. And I appreciated how, they would go to the market and get what they needed for that day. Here we might stockpile things, for a month or at least for a week or two. So here it was kind of a day-to-day thing. There was a real magic to it in that way.
Yes, and I lived in Europe for 7 years, and that is just how people shop. Everyone has smaller refrigerators than we do here in the United States, and so you do have to shop daily or every 2 days, and you're just looking for the things that are fresh. You're going to the local markets. You're seeing who's brought what in from the countryside. So it's a really different way of just of preparing food, thinking about food, and interacting with food in Europe than it is here.
And so was then, thinking about the food then and the title of this current book, The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake, uh, was food kind of the inspiration to go to writing about this cake? Or what was it for you, Rachel?
Actually, I think it was the food's just kind of like a yummy side benefit, but really so this story is about a magical cookbook and a summer on her family's Italian olive farm, and if it can help a broken-hearted social media chef cook up a satisfying new life. So it's about three generations of strong women. It has a second chance romance. It's got a lost recipe that can show you the happiest moments of your life, and it's all set on beautiful Lake Garda in Italy. And what drew me to this story was that I really wanted to explore a story about a woman who's letting grief and fear of loss hold her back from the things that are most important in life. So that's what I really delved into. And then I got to do all this yummy, setting in Italy and putting a lot of food in it and putting these magical touches and romance, kind of as like the icing on the cake, if it were.
And you've accomplished it. I trust you feel you've accomplished it since we do have the book here in hand, and well, I've had it in hand digitally, but soon everybody will have access to it. And so obviously the story it was found to be ideal and has been brought to life here for all of us to enjoy.
Well, this is I think now I'm to the point where I have to count them all. I think this is my eighth novel. Might be no, I think it's my seventh novel. I think I'm miscounting. And it's a joy to do every single one. And every novels are like children. You're not supposed to have a favorite, but really in your heart, there are certain ones that feel kind of extra special to an author. And so this one is tied for first in my heart. This one is just really a novel from my heart that really touched me. And I think the themes about loss, anxiety, fear of loss, grief, those are themes, kind of universal themes that most of us can identify with. And I certainly can. And so I think that was extra special to be able to explore those themes in this magical, beautiful way in Italy.
That really encapsulates it all. And to have it in this beautiful setting, to have the generations, the history of this family in northern Italy. You said your family is from there. So is there still family that's there on, land or area that's been in the family for decades or really maybe even centuries?
I do still have family in northern Italy. I've met a great aunt and been in her home and shared meals with great aunts and uncles. And I have been to the family village. It's a little tiny village in the winemaker region in northeastern Italy, and have walked through the village, seen stepped into the church where my great grandparents were married, that sort of thing. But in terms of an olive farm or a villa, there's nothing like that left, unfortunately. I wish there was. So I had to just go scouting around the countryside on foot to find this villa that I then put in the book. I just wandered around going, is this the house? Is this the house? Until I found this beautiful house and thought, oh, I think this is the inspiration.
And did they let you wander through the area, through the house and through their gardens and on the patio area?
Nope, I just wandered around the outside on the path and the sidewalk walk like a creepy person, and saw as much as I could, and then I just made up the rest in my own head.
Well, isn't that beautiful to have the factual, but then be able to kind of fantasize the rest of it? And wow, it is such a beautiful place, even though it's having its problems, it's showing its age and not being able to keep up with the maintenance that it requires. But even that, I mean, there's just such heart in that estate, in that villa, that thinking of the generations that lived there, your imagination and creativity really brings it to life for us.
I am very interested in a couple major themes that I explore in a lot of my books, and one of them is a sense of place, a sense of home. What does it mean to have a sense of place? What does it mean to have a sense of home? What calls us to a place? What makes us feel like we're most ourselves somewhere? And so this story explores that, but it's about a woman who's really disconnected herself because of grief, because of fear, because of anxiety. She's connected herself from the things that are really her sense of place, her sense of home, her sense of family. And this is about this summer of reconnection and of her finding the courage to overcome fear and work through grief and sense of responsibility, guilt, in order to reconnect with the place that feels most like home and the ways that she feels most like herself, the things that feel worth it to risk in her life.
Oh, and you're just so masterful with it. And it's so important because these are themes that I think really each of us deals with in some form, to greater and lesser degrees perhaps, but they're present there. And I think through reading stories, I know myself going through times of challenge, reading really brings so much comfort and then insight into how that reflects and how we can use it in our own life, right?
Exactly. And that is my hope. I mean, my secret wish for every book is that readers will find a little nugget of truth that they can put in their pocket and take into their own lives. So I love it if they walk away. For this book, I really hope that readers will think about loss and grief and how those can make us afraid to risk for the right hard things we most value in life, like family, community, love, sense of purpose, place in the world. So my hope is that readers have a wonderful experience with this story. They feel like they went on a trip to Italy. They feel like they got a hug from their favorite nonna, but they also walk away with this little nugget of courage and hope to take into their own lives after they close the last page.
Well, it's I guess a little too soon to say because the book is just coming out, but I'm sure you've gotten some feedback from early readers or, from people who do that sort of work. I think that exists, doesn't it? As
Hmm.
to the response. And the response, I would imagine, is quite positive.
People are really loving this one, and I think it's a very good time for it. We're in very tumultuous times, and I think people are looking for something that feels safe, warm, cozy, and hopeful. And this is what that book absolutely does. So it makes you feel like you have gotten to, just sit on your couch and go on a magical adventure to Italy, but also walk away with hope, inspiration, joy, and yeah, a hug from your favorite nana.
I love that. Yes, that hug from our favorite Nana is really great. My background is Polish, really
Hmm.
100% Polish. So it's my babcia. So
Oh, a hug
right.
from your babcia. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
So each of us can think of that in terms of whatever it is in our own cultures, our own families. And I think you're so right, Rachel, that with these tumultuous times we live in, and I guess they're always kind of around us, this helps us to kind of get back to center, to what is really important, where it is that we can do anything. If we look at the big picture, we can feel, overwhelmed and failure. But if we are present in our space, what that place that is ours, know who we are, then that really does help us to feel that peace and that love and that hug.
Exactly. And I think the sense of, what is it that we have in our hand to help others? What's our purpose? What does it mean to live a meaningful life that is satisfying and fulfilling and helps the world? And so this story explores that in gentle and yummy ways, but it's still exploring these bigger themes of identity and purpose and sense of home and sense of place, and really asking a question, what makes a worthwhile life? What makes a purposeful life? And that's a question I'm fascinated with, and I just keep coming back to in various ways, telling the story in different ways. And this one, I got to tell the story in a way that I hope will really resonate at this time with readers.
I trust it will. I know that it has had that impact on me, that it gets to be such a page turner. Like, what's going to happen next? You get a hopeful sense of things, but how is it going to happen? And it's so realistic in terms of of our main character just being very much pulled in different directions, and which shows where we are. We're in our present. Can we change from the focus we've arrived at? And really, this is so. I think so relevant to us. We can really identify with Jules, with Juliana, right? Yeah.
Yep. And she's really struggling with a significant amount of grief over a loss, a personal loss of her father, and that she's never quite gotten over and kind of blames herself. And so there's a lot of ways that that unprocessed grief has really held her back. And she's afraid of losing more things, more people that she holds dear. She's afraid of failure. She deals with a decent amount of anxiety. And so, at the beginning of the book, everything falls apart for her, and she's forced to go back to Italy, to the place she's been avoiding for many years. And she has to go back. She has to go back. I think she hasn't been there in 15 years. She has to go back to face her own fear and really reconnect with her roots. And she gets to reconnect with the handsome olive farmer next door who broke her heart when they were teenagers. And he's, all grown up, super helpful, super handsome, and right next door.
Yes. Oh, what could be more enticing, right? And what a delightful journey that is, And we can all relate to that too, because we've all had our heartbreaks and finding new relationships or maybe reconnecting, and we're going to leave that to kind of be the question mark and having to take that journey through the secret of orange blossom cake ourselves, because it's really something to just go through each of the pages and see the ups and the downs. I think, again, that's the way that we find how we really relate with the characters and find our own answers potentially.
And that's really the hope. I'm hoping that I write a book that really readers can empathize with. Because if you don't care about a character, you're not going to follow them through a story. I mean,
Mm.
I've read books that I just can't quite connect with a character, and I think, I'm going to close this book and look for something that feels more relevant to me, that connects with me at a heart level more. So that's my hope, that this story really connects at a heart level with people, takes them on a really magical, yummy, warm, satisfying, hopeful journey, and then at the end there's something they can take away into their own lives in this autumn season, in the present day that we find ourselves.
Yes. So we should let people know at this point that, you're easy to connect with because you stay really up to date with your Instagram page, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
I love to connect with readers on Instagram and on Facebook. And then I also have a website, just www.rachellinden.com. And people can contact me directly. I love to respond to emails from readers. And then I also have a way on my website to sign up for a newsletter. I only send it a couple times a year, just with fun bookish news. And if people sign up for a newsletter, then I send them my own little ebook of recipe books from my childhood and travels around the world when I lived abroad. My favorite recipes I'll send just as a little gift, so they can do that too.
Wow, that sounds like such a bounty. That is wonderful that you share that much with us as your readers. And you're sharing even more, but you're going to have such a busy October. You've got a lot of sites all around Washington where you're going to be at bookstore and book events.
Oh, yes. We have such an amazing number of wonderful independent bookstores in the Pacific Northwest. We have a bounty of them. And so I'm going to be at roughly, I think, a third of them doing events through October. And so I would absolutely love to see any readers. I'd love to connect with readers at the events. We're going to do olive oil tastings. I made a recipe for orange blossom cake. My mom and I invented it in my kitchen, and it's in the back of the book, the recipe. So I'll be making that for some of these events. So it will be really fun. And people can find a list of events on my Instagram page or on my Facebook page. Those are listed, and they can figure out where I'm going to be and come see me if they want to.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. There's like I think at a glance, it's about a dozen sites, so we're not going to mention them all, but it's a good reason to go to the website and find the location that's closest to wherever you live. And that's
Exactly.
the thing I didn't even mention at the outset is that you are a Washington writer. So that makes it even more relevant for us here in the Puget Sound area that you are from right in our region, and really fun to connect with a writer like yourself right here.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I am a local Washington author. I am a fan, huge fan of the Pacific Northwest. I love this. I think it's the best part of the little corner of the world. and the most beautiful corner of the world. And I always put, other than one book, I think 6 of my 7 books all have a foot in the Pacific Northwest. So this one is partly set in Seattle and Capitol Hill. That's where Jules is living before she heads to Italy. So you get a little bit of both. You get a little taste of the Pacific Northwest, and then you get to go on a yummy, sun-drenched adventure on an olive farm in Italy.
And speaking of Jules again, I know how she really relates with her followers because she has a little cooking show that she does online, and she will answer their comments. And you were just saying how, when readers respond to you and send you emails about your books and such things, that you respond to them. So I see this parallel between you and Jules.
Oh, I love people. I love human connection. And writers don't write just to write into a void. We write for connection with other people. And so I'm writing a story hoping that it connects, that it comforts, that it gives inspiration, that it gives joy, that it brings joy and happiness to people. So to receive an email or a message from someone who says, oh, I read your book and this is what I gained from it. I lost my mother at a young age, or I'm having, my marriage just ended, or these things. People, we all struggle with really difficult, painful things in life. And so to receive messages where people say, oh, this story really encouraged me, or taught me this, or gave me this to think about, or inspired me, or gave me the courage to do this, and this. Those are such wonderful moments, because I think, gosh, this is why I'm writing. I'm telling this story, hoping that it will connect in this way to bring courage, inspiration, and hope to people. And it's a joy to find out that it's done just that.
Mm-hmm. So, as our listeners find this book, The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake, at your favorite local bookstore, and we like our brick and mortar stores right here, find the book and get into it, is to definitely connect with Rachel, because you hear how Rachel loves to connect with you and hear what the book has meant to you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can also, it's available in ebook format. It's available in audiobook. I've got a great audiobook narrator who has done that. And then it's also available at any independent bookstore, can order it for you. And a lot of them around Puget Sound will have signed copies, or come to one of my book events and I will sign it and personalize for you in person, which would be the most delightful.
I agree. I think that definitely is the case. It's wonderful. And we are so fortunate, being right here, and you're being right here, because I think there's less of that happening in terms of author tours. But the fact that you're right here makes you accessible to us and makes it really easy to do. Well, I mean, there's work involved in having to do the travel, but still, I think it seems to be a labor of love for you.
Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely a labor of love. I'm so excited that this book's going to be out in the world.
So you were mentioning earlier, Rachel, how this is perhaps tied for first place in terms of your favorites. And because this is my introduction to you, I'm very curious about what the other favorite book of yours is.
Oh, well, I love them all. And each one is special. But the other one that really holds a very special place in my heart is The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie. It's set on Magnolia in Seattle. And it was actually made into a Hallmark movie last year. So that one was really fun. And I got to be in the movie. I'm in the first scene sitting in the cafe. So you can read the book, watch the movie, and it's just delightful. And so that's the other one that's tied for first in my heart with now with The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. And I can just see that this one, The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake, is definitely geared to be a Hallmark movie as well. I'm a big Hallmark movie fan, but I don't think I saw the lemon pie one. But so I'm going to have to investigate that.
You'll have to investigate it. So the Hallmark title of that one is The Magic of Lemon Drops, and it's utterly delightful. They did such a good job, and it's yummy and it's deliciously filmed and wonderful actors. And then if you watch it, look for me in the first scene. The main character is giving me a scone in the cafe.
When you say it was lemon drops, I believe I saw that, and it had to do with family and memory as well. But I'll have to go back to it because I want to see that first scene now that I know that you're in it.
That's right. Now you're going to go look for me.
Absolutely, yes. So back to, though, the secret of orange blossom cake and relationships. Another key part of relationships here, because it's a part of our world right now, is blended families, although this isn't really so much about blended, but Jules has a half-sister, and it's really wonderful to see that particular theme and see all of that work through, because so much of that is existent in our world. So I think this is a really special theme of the book as well.
I did love to get to explore that. Yes. So Jules has a half sister, Alessandra, who she ends up bringing to Italy with her kind of against her will. And they have a very distant relationship and a little bit of animosity between them. And so part of this is, I mean, they are related, but they really they don't see each other as family. And so there's a little bit of almost a found family feel, a reconnection feel in the story where Jules and Alessandra are working through their differences and really connecting. And Alessandra is coming from a place of isolation and loneliness to really finding a sense of family of her own. So I loved getting to write this. I've never written half sibling relationships. And, Alessandra is young. She's just a teenager. And so that was fun too, to have this teenager older sister relationship as she kind of steps into her own sense of identity and her own place in the world.
Yes, I really appreciated that because, well, life for any of us has its challenges, but certainly with all that goes on today, I feel with social media and our youth, it's just so challenging. And for you to write about that and see how a young person can actually make some of that really work well for them and work with the family is really a gift. So that was really a special segment of it too, and then just showing overall, the strength of women at all these different ages.
Oh, I love that. I love writing multi-generational stories. I love writing stories with older characters as well. Nana Bruna is in her 80s and she is the linchpin of the family. And I love to write the wisdom, the spunk, the life experience, and the relationships that can come intergenerationally. I lived with my grandmother when I was growing up. She lived with us. And that was such a special relationship. I gained so much from growing up with this older generation in the household and growing up with her influence. And so I love to put that in stories and explore, not everybody's 32. There are people who are teenagers. There are people who are in their 80s. There are people who are in their 50s. And what does it look like to live a good life at those different ages? And what can we give to one another? And I love to explore those themes.
And there we have it too. This is perfect. This book is perfect for all ages. And, here we are getting close to gift-giving season. So, yes, we get a copy for ourselves so we can kind of delve into it now, but be thinking of it as really that special gift for someone who you just feels has everything or needs something special.
Oh, I love that idea. Yes, everybody should have a good stocking stuffer. Yes. Everyone needs a stocking stuffer for whatever holiday celebration. Secret of Orange Blossom Cake.
Absolutely. And once again, let's mention your website where all of our listeners can get the list of where you're going to be and how to connect with you on other media.
Yeah, the best places to find the list of events, because we just updated it, is either Instagram or Facebook. So you can find me at author Rachel Linden or Rachel Linden Writer. And I have the lists there of the events. It'll be up on my website soon, but we just updated some new events. So that needs to be updated.
Wonderful. Well, this has been so great to connect with you. I really appreciate you, Rachel Linden, and your books, especially right now because I got introduced to you with The Secret of Orange Blossom Cake. Thank you so much for your talent, for wanting to be this wonderful storyteller, and for spending time with us today.
Oh my goodness, it has been my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you for being here this morning to meet these wonderful guests, living their best life and providing a model for us. Please check this station's website for the podcasts for more information about these guests, and please share the stories with your family and friends. I'm Kate Daniels. If you'd like to connect with me, simply send me an email, katedaniels@hubbardradio.com. And Make time for a special connection today.
Thank you for listening to Inspirational Women. Tune in every Sunday morning at this time to hear about those truly empowering the Northwest community, all for the greater good. Sunday Morning Magazine and Inspirational Women are a public service of Hubbard Radio Seattle.